Okay, James, we're picking up where the last video was, where we found the rear main seal. We found a puddle down here. We definitely saw the drips at the bottom and the leak. I had left it with, I think I know what happened, and I'm going to just explain that here real quick now. Here's the rear main seal. If you recall in the last video, when it was installed, the face of the seal was about 3 millimeters underflush to the machine surface of the block halves back here. There is a chamfer here to lead that seal in, and there's no factory spec on whether it should be 1 mil underflush, although the front timing chain cover harmonic balancer crankshaft seal, the front seal says set at 1 mil underflush. So I'm going to assume it's 1 mil underflush. I think the reason is Subaru shows a service tool in their instructions, and I'm sure when you put the service tool on there, there's a stop that faces off with the crankshaft, and it just sets it at the right depth. But I'm going to assume that's about 1 millimeter. So what I did here is I fabricated from a spare bolts some studs that I'm going to put into the crankshaft. Right across from each other, that will allow me to draw the seal in. You'll see what I mean here. I'm going to set the seal so it doesn't fall out. I made this piece of, this little jig out of a piece of PVC pipe. It's the exact diameter of the seal on the contact surface of the wire that, or the stamping that's in the circumference of the seal inside. Let me step over here and let me get this. And I just cut a section of angle iron that will allow me to bolt this on. I like to get my fingers right with my gloves on. There you go. There you go. So what we're going to do, it is down the center line, even though it doesn't look like it because it's an angle piece. And I'll recenter this pipe. Now I'm going to take the seal back off so I can oil the outer circumference and the inner lip. But I just want to show it how the jig is set up and how I'm going to turn these a quarter turn each at a time, very gently, to draw that in evenly around the circumference. The first time I put the seal in, I used a drift and a hammer, the tapping method, just kind of around the circumference. And, you know, you just can't get that exactly how you want it. By the time I got it exactly as flush, if you will, as I could, I didn't use a micrometer or anything, but it looked flush, looked right. It was probably too deep, which created a bit too, not as much of a cavity in the back of the, behind the seal here, which probably covered the drain back hole to the oil pan a little bit, created some pressure, and then that oil had to find a place to go and leaked out the seal. That's my theory, and now we're going to put this seal in where it's just literally between a 0.5 mil and 1 mil underflush using a drawdown method instead of a tapping method. I'll show you what that looks like after I'm done. That's where we're at, James.